doing today? Brush, 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 brush. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing great. Yes, I'm talking to you. Yes, you. Hope everything is good. Umtebelele. I hope umtebelele. Kubani salicingayo lo gama, kubani salikhumbulayo, baliyasetyenziswa. Mna ke, I am African Khoisan, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me today. And today's video, I will be dropping some knowledge, and talking to you about the first humans in the world. First humans in the world, and they are called Khoisan or Khoisan people of Southern Africa, the motherland. One thing I need from you, one thing, just a single thing which you can do for me, which would be a great favor, just a great favor, as what? Can you take a guess? I need you to sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video as I drop some knowledge. Without further ado, let's get started. Singachitanga maseko, singaphosisanga maseko. Maskawule siwarhuqa itsho into. In around the 2300 2300 BC, meaning before present, hunter-gatherers called San acquired domestic stock in what is now modern day Botswana, which is a country just on top of South Africa. That's like South Africa's, yeah. Botswana is a neighboring country to South Africa. Africa, and the people in this population called themselves Khoi Khoi, Khoi Khoi, or Khoi, okay, which means men of men, men of men, or the real people, the real people. Khoi Khoi, Khoi Khoi, Khoisan people call themselves men of men, men of men, or the real people, the real people. This name was chosen to show their pride in their past and culture. Okay, great. Khoi Khoi brought a new way of life to South Africa and to the sun, who were hunter-gatherers. The Khoi Khoi brought a new way of life to South Africa, and to the sun. Let me just draw. It's like S-A-N, sun, who were hunter-gatherers, as opposed to hitters. This then led to like conflict and misunderstanding. What did it lead to? Misunderstanding and subsequent conflict between the two groups. One group and two groups. Between the two groups. The Khoi Khoi were the first native people to come into contact with Dutch settlers. And this happened around the mid 17th century, as Dutch took over the land for farms. The Khoi Khoi were disposed, exterminated, or enslaved, and then their numbers dwindled, and then what happened to those who still remained behind? They were then called Hottentots by the European settlers. Why was this? I'm pretty sure you're wondering, like, why was this the case? That is because their language was so different to any European languages, and then the Europeans could not understand many of the words and the sounds in the Khoi language. The Khoi use However, today the term is considered derogatory. The settlers use the term bushman for the sun. Khoi, Hottentots, bushman, the sun, and the term is also considered derogatory today. Many of those whom the colonists called Bushmen were in fact Khoi or former Khoi. Okay. For that reason, scholars sometimes refer to Khoi people as hunters or hunter-gatherers. So, many scholars still use the term, but it is used together with Khoi. When the European settlement began, Khoi groups called Namaqua were settled in modern-day Namibia, up there, and the northeastern Cape of South Africa, where I am from, including Khoisan, along the Orange River, and the Konaqwa, inspired amongst the Xhosa in the Eastern Cape. So, Xhosa comes from Khoi, which I sometimes get comments on my video being told about this movie that was filmed by Khoisan people, and people saying that, oh, I hit Xhosa in that movie. That's not Xhosa, it's Khoisan. Xhosa and Khoisan both have clicks because Xhosa is derived from Khoisan. In the Khoisan language, Xhosa means angry man. So yeah. And then where was I? The largest concentration of Khoi, numbering in the tens of thousands, inhabited the well-watered pasture land of the southern Western Cape. These Cape Khoi would be the first African population to bear brunt of white settlement. Okay. Now let's talk about the nomadic heritage. Okay. The Khoi kept heads of animals such as goats, ibokwe, this reason, they were made of thin poles covered with reed mats. Even pots and buckets were made of wood with small handles to make them easier to tie to animals' backs. They also wore clothes made from leather, like sun. Okay, okay, let's move on to the next paragraph. The animals, especially cattle. I'm so hot. The animals, especially cattle, were a sign of wealth, and the Khoisan only ate cattle that had died or had been stolen from their enemies. And then they only killed their own animals for important occasions, joyous celebrations like weddings, for example, and other important occasions like funerals, when they're resting their loved ones, putting them to their resting place. Then they would kill an animal, okay, and then the women milked the animals. And gathered wild plants from the field. Bayoka isityalo ehlathini, basenge nenkomo namabhokhwe, basenge for ukufumana ubisi. Xa befuna ubisi bayasenga, and then gathered wild plants from the field, and then the men would then for everyday food, to show that the Khoi hunted and gathered, but also headed animals. Okay, now let's move on to the Khoisan Khoi society and language. Ngoku ndifuna ukuthetha ngolwimi lwabo. Ngoku nenkcubeko nemvelaphi yabo. Listen. Listen. The Khoi society consisted of both rich and poor people. Okay? Poor, rich, the haves and the have-nots. How would you distinguish between the two? Animals were a sign of wealth. Okay? The more animals you had, the wealthier you were. This is because animals provided food, clothes, and transport. So, if you have these, that means you have food, you have transport, and you have clothes. This was completely different from the sun, who were all considered equal, and they shared everything. Okay, the sun were considered you have more, you're still wealthier than the others. Sharing is caring. And then Khoi people would share their milk with the poor members of their group and would be considered more important. They would also rub animal fat all over their bodies. Why do this? This is a symbol of wealth. The more animal fat you rub into your body and shinier you are, that means you're more wealthy and you're not in need of food. Because if you look ashy and dehydrated or unmoisturized, people are like, so I think you get the picture. The language, the Khoi language, is characterized by implosive consonants or clicks. They have in their language, and we do not have the kiss click in the Khoisan language because our language was derived from Khoi, and then they have even more and more clicks. Let me start over again. I don't even know which ones I mentioned. It's in their language. Okay. So, Khoisan languages are characterized by these clicks, which belonged to a totally different language family from those of Bantu speakers. Xhosa is called a Bantu language. Xhosa, Zulu, Swati, Bantu languages. In contrast to the San, who spoke highly divergent languages, the Khoi spoke closely related dialect to the same language. They had Na, Ma, previously called Hottentot, and it is the most important, populous and widespread of the Khoisan and San languages. It belongs to the Khoi language family and is spoken in Namibia, Botswana, and South Africa by the Namakwa, Damaga, and Hayom, as well as a small ethnic group such as Komani. If you want to read more about the languages, you should look up History of San as in S-A-N, History of San. We have Asia or the Asian continent with Africa, because in terms of history, there are people who are saying or mentioning that African Khoi people and Asian people have some kind of history together. Let's try looking it up and see what we will find. There is a statement that says Khoi and Asians have a connection, and I'm gonna try to see if I find something about that, because there is somebody who posted a picture of Nelson Mandela, and someone was like, why does he look so Asian in this picture? And then the response was, it's because Xhosa people have Khoi history, and Khoi and Asians have some connection of some kind. Let me see if I'll find something explaining that, which is what inspired me to make this video in the first place, to see what exactly. And okay, there's this research that was done. Where is it? Okay, let me just read this part. The Khoisan tribes people of today still live much as their ancestors did. Of course, the Khoi culture till this day does exist, and they do not live like the modern day people. They live like the ancestors are dead, and I will try to post pictures somewhere here so that you can see modern day how they are living and where they live and all that. Okay, great. They are hunter-gatherers. They are most familiar to the Westerners as the people who speak the distinctive clicking noises. Until now, they were believed to have the purest African gene pool due to thousands of years of isolationist practices. The team acquired DNA samples from 32 people living in the Khoisan tribe of southern Africa. An analysis revealed Eurasian gene segments in all of them, but that wasn't the end of the story. To understand how the gene fragment got into the Khoisan tribes people, the researchers turned to archaeological and linguistic evidence to build a possible timeline of events. Isn't that interesting? Quite interesting, but let's continue reading and see. Where was I? In so doing, they found what they believed to have been migration back into Africa by people of the Middle East. snippets of their Neanderthal DNA in their genes as well. What? Courtesy of their Eurasian heritage. That is quite interesting. That is quite interesting. Let's see if there's anything else I can find that's just let me just ask, like, say, are Asian? I find this question quite interesting. Someone said, do Khoisan people look Asian, or do Asians look like Khoisans? Let's see the answers. They look sub-Saharan African, but they have the epicanthic fold, which makes them look more Southeast and East Asian. They look more Southeast Asian. It could be that Asians acquired some folds from Khoisan people in regards to the out of Africa theory. This person said it's the other way around. The Asians look African. I think I just